Good morning everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Elaine and I'm Ellie Welly Stitcher, both here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Not that I post very often on there, I just admire everybody else's handiwork that they've done. So how is everybody? It's Monday morning here in the UK. Husband's gone to work. I've swapped my days off around this week because I'm running a workshop at the back end of the week, so it seemed like a good idea to take a Monday off, which has been quite nice. We've had some brilliant weather over the weekend, and last week was just a fantastic, glorious, sunny week here, which is quite early for us. It really felt spring-like, but I think we're going to come crashing back down to earth with a bump this week. Today it's really foggy this morning, the sun's not out at all, and I'm hoping the lighting's going to be okay for my filming. So I think I've sorted out the washed out effect, fingers crossed, thanks to one of my viewers, and the answer was obvious really. I just needed to change the settings on my phone. So I've done that now, and I did a little test video about a week ago to see how it worked on my editing suite, and it didn't look washed out. So fingers crossed the lighting issue is resolved, I hope. So thank you to my viewer for pointing that out to me. It was so obvious, I should have just checked. Okay, so hopefully we sorted the lighting out. So yeah, so today it's a bit foggy and murky and quite a bit chilly here in my part of England, and it's only going to get colder apparently towards the end of the week, which is not great either. So yeah, situation normal. So we did have our first barbecue of the year last week, but I think it's back to roast dinners by the end of this week. Okay, so what have I got for you today? So I've got my WIP update. I've got my WIPGO plans for April, because Jessie Marie drew the numbers yesterday, and I've got a bit of chat about our stitching retreat. So if you watched my last video, you know last weekend I had a long weekend away at a stitching retreat, which is the Essex Needles retreat, which I organised with Teresa Little Stitcher. So that took place and we had a fantastic time, really fantastic. I really understand now why once you've been to a retreat you really want to go on them again, because I really felt like everybody that came was just fantastic. Everybody mingled together. You know, it was really good. I really feel like I made 40 new stitchy friends. That's how I feel. You know, it was just a fantastic weekend. I did do some stitching, not masses, I have to say, but we'll discuss that as we go along. I've got a little video to show you, which I'll put in at the end of the finishing table at the retreat. So we started off with 2 tables, 2 6-foot long tables to put everybody's finishes on, and in the end we ended up with 4 tables because just everybody bought just such fantastic finishes. So I did take a little video on really early on the Saturday morning before anybody turned up to stitch, just people's finishes and a bit of what they're working on. So if you want to see that, I'll put that in at the end of today's video. Oh, I never said at the beginning, I always forget this bit. This is a video about cross stitch, sometimes about knitting, but not today because I haven't really done any knitting, and sometimes a bit about books, and I do have a little book update for you which I'll add on at the end as well, so to speak. Okay, so we are on Flosstube number 20 now, I do believe, and when I worked it out, I think I first filmed a Flosstube on something like the 17th or 18th of April last year. So next month will be my 1 year anniversary of doing Flosstube. So we'll do something special for that as a bit of a giveaway, I think. So I'm not going to do a giveaway this time. We'll do a really good one next time. Okay, so let's get into my WIPs first of all. And excuse me if you can hear my stomach rumbling. I do apologise for that. I've had breakfast, so there's no reason why it should be. Okay, so the first project I'm going to show you, so I've only worked on 3 full coverage projects, and one of them is hardly worked on at all actually. So really I've only worked on 2 because I didn't take any with me to the stitching retreat, not full coverage, because I just thought I couldn't make my mind up which one I would take with me, and B, I thought, well, if I get really engrossed in chatting, probably trying to stitch on a full coverage is not going to be the ideal thing to be stitching on. So we will go, as we go along, I'll show you what I did take with me and what I did actually stitch on. So I didn't take any full coverage, so I'm very, very behind with it. So I'll just show you where I'm at with my book of days now. So here we are, we nearly finished the month. I don't know where this month's gone, it's gone so fast. As you can see, I've been stickering it up, so we've got a couple of clocks on here. Thought it was appropriate to put those on because our clocks here in the UK changed yesterday. So our clocks went forward by an hour, so we all lost an hour's sleep, which yesterday was Mother's Day in the UK, so all the mums didn't get a lay in yesterday morning. So so here's where I am with it. There's a mouse up there because if you remember, I told you a little story about the mouse that's living in my garden, or the mice that are, well, they're not living in my garden, but they keep coming in my garden from next door, and they are still visiting my garden. Not every day, they seem to have got a bit less frequent, but most days, and they haven't been actually in the bird feeder since, and I have been making sure I'm wearing my glasses when I go and feed the birds so that I can check they're not in there. So so yeah, there's only been 2 days this month I haven't stitched. One I told you about last time, and then I didn't stitch on Thursday the 17th because that's the day that I was going to the retreat. So I arrived on the Thursday. The retreat didn't officially start until the Friday, but because it's my hotel, I swung it a little bit that I met some of the ladies who travelled up and stayed over on the Thursday night, and the stitching room was free Thursday evening, so we did kind of go and get ourselves set up, but I was too busy meeting people and chatting to people to actually do any stitching, so I didn't do any stitching at all on that Thursday. Okay, so that's where my book of days is at. Okay, so back to my WIPs. I digress yet again. So the first one that I worked on is from Pain Free Crafts, and the artwork's by Chris Dunn, and it's cheese delivery. I'll put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished, and also where you saw it last time. And I got quite a lot of commentary around where was cheese delivery on my last video, because I hadn't worked on it, which, you know, it's not like me, and quite a few people said they really miss seeing it, including Lauren at Flossabilities. And if you haven't watched Lauren before, go check her out, because her version of cheese delivery is way ahead of mine. She's nearly finished it. She'll definitely finish it this year, whereas, you know, mine's only on, I can't remember now, I think about 30%. So yeah, so go and check out Laura's. But even she said she missed mine, which is amazing, because she must get sick of looking at it sometimes. Right, here we go. So here I am with cheese delivery. So I put an extra 800 stitches into this one, and I really dotted about an awful lot with this one, to be honest. So I did a bit more on this cheese area over here, just because I wanted to. I did a bit more over in this middle section here, when I was in the mood for that. So yeah, so it's had an extra 800 stitches. And like I say, it's on about 30% now. So quite pleased with the way that one's coming along, and it will be coming out again soon. So yeah, so that's cheese delivery. Still my favourite project. So yeah, so that was the first one that I worked on since I last saw you. I'm sorry if I keep bending down, but I've got all my WIPs over here. I've got haul over here. I have a lot of haul, people. I have a lot of haul, and it hasn't even all come yet. And when I got it out this morning, ready to show you, I got more than I even thought I'd got, if you see what I mean. So yeah, and I can't even say it's all from the retreat, because it isn't. Okay, well, we'll talk about that as we go. Okay, so that was cheese delivery. So the next full coverage project that I worked on is Hade, Heaven and Earth Design. So this one, the artwork is by Ciro Marchetti, and it's called Magic Forest. And again, I'll put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished, and also where you saw it last time. Now, I don't know if you'll notice much difference with this one, because I've really been filling in a lot of the ninja stitches and that kind of thing, but I have done 900 stitches on this. So basically I've been coming down here a bit more and coming across to the bird and just sort of filling this whole corner in. And that bird, apart from a little bit of orange down here on his chest, he's almost completely filled in now. So I'm doing this one as a stitch along with Jemima, the rocking stitcher, and we have got a sale for this. It's Magic Forest sale on Instagram. I'm terrible at posting progress updates on it, as I am with any sale that I do. So I did see somebody start on this the other day, actually, and they'd started, I think it was from the bottom left, which is a load of sunflowers and that kind of thing. And oh my, it looked amazing. Really, really amazing. So this is such a colourful piece, such a colourful piece. It's a real delight to stitch on, and it's got quite a good balance, I'd say, of, yeah, there's quite a lot of block stitching, but the bird had quite a bit of confetti, really. So it's a good mix for whatever you're in the mood to do. So yeah, 900 stitches on that one. So that one I feel has progressed a bit. Okay, and then the final one I worked on, and I ifed and ahed around whether to bother showing you, actually, because I haven't done hardly anything with it. This one's kind of out in my rotation at the moment. So this is another one from Pain Free Crafts, and the artwork again is by Chris Dunn, and this one is Feast. And I've done a measly 165 stitches on this. So I did 100 stitches on Saturday night, and then I did another 65 yesterday, and oh, the confetti, seriously. So I've been working on this area down here, and this is a little animal, believe it or not. You can't really tell just yet. I'm gonna carry on with it again this evening, but I think this is his ear at the top here. But it will be, hopefully by the next time you see it, it will become more apparent what it is. I think it's a little a little beaver or something like that sitting down here. So yeah, so I thought I'll come down a little bit now instead of just working across. So, but yeah, the confetti is such a slog, seriously. You know, like I say, I did 100 stitches Saturday evening, and I put it down because I was drinking a glass of wine, and I thought stitching and alcohol don't particularly go very well together, so I'd better stop this. And B, I started watching a series on ITV. I think it's been out about a month now or so, so I'm a bit late to the party with watching it, but I quite often do that and binge watch a whole series. So I did binge watch this one. It was only 4 parts, and it was called Our House, which was a bit of a thriller thing. It was quite good. I really enjoyed it. It was written by Louise Candlish, and I've read a couple of her books, and they're quite good. So I was a bit riveted to that. So I watched a bit of that on Saturday and Sunday, and didn't stitch an awful lot on this. So I will have it back out again tonight, and we will persevere with that confetti. So yeah, so that's where we are with Feast. Okay, so yeah, that's all the full coverage projects that I've worked on. So the WIPGO numbers for March, sorry, let me just check with my little book, were 15 and 21. So 15 for me was to only work on small projects for a week. And so far, I think I've done 6 days on small projects. I don't count my full coverage because I do just still work on those in the evening, but I've worked on small projects, like where I do my afternoon stitching, so to speak. So I've done 6 out of 7 days, so I've got to fit in 1 more day, and that probably, oh excuse me, my stomach, that will probably be today, I think, because I'm back at work tomorrow. So on the days that I work, I normally just work on my full coverage in the evening. So, and then the other one I had to work on was to work on a BAP for 5 days. So BAP is big project, a big project. So, but not full coverage, or not for me, full coverage anyway. And the one I chose to work on for 5 days was the next project I'm going to show you, which is my Mirabilia. So this is Lady of Mystery. This is what she looks like when she's finished. And I'll put a picture in of where you saw her last time. So I have completed my 5 days on her. So, sorry, she's, next time I will show you her out of the Q-snap, but at the moment I've got her just right for stitching on. So I have finished her hair now since you last saw her, and I have done this whole corner of this trellis, which is a real big bit of trellis, and I'm just now gonna come across the top and go down the other side of the trellis. So yeah, so I've done all this big bit here, you can see that, and I'm going across. I'm going to do all this bit over here, then I'll move her in the Q-snap, because I haven't done any, she's only stitched to about here on her. I've still got all this big bit of dress to do, but yeah, I really wanted to get this out of the way really, and not leave it till last. I haven't done any of the beading yet. I'll do the beading at the end. But I like beading anyway, so that's not a problem. But backstitch, I have done backstitch as I've gone along. So with, oh, I've not been telling you the stats, have I? Most of you probably know them by now, but my full coverage projects. So cheese delivery stitch 2/1 stitch or 28 count easy guide. Magic Forest is 28 count 10 stitch. again on Easy Guide. And Feast is, there's a theme here guys, 28 count 28 count full cross 1/1. The other two are 2/110. So, but yeah, 28 count is my go-to for full coverage. I have got pieces on 25 count, but I prefer the coverage of 28 count. So this Mirabilia is also stitched on 28 count, but this is 28 count. This is 28 count even weave. It's a Zweigart fabric, and it's in the colourway cream. And I am using all of the called for floss, with the exception of black, which instead of using 310 I used 403 Anchor Black, just to give it a try really. So I do think I actually prefer the DMC, and I know a lot of people prefer the Anchor because it gives a slightly fluffier coverage, but yeah, so that's where we are with my Mirabilia. And then so that's where my WIPGO ended up being for March. So I am gonna complete both of those goals, but we still haven't got a line yet, so I can't have my new needle minder out that I showed you a few episodes ago, which is my little treat for completing my first line, but I haven't got one yet. So okay, the next project that I worked on is Mary Mary Needleworker by Lindy Stitches, and again I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time and what it looks like when it's finished. Now I took this one on retreat with me because I'll show you where I am with it. So I took this one away on the retreat with me because I've been filling in this skirt, and I thought, well, you know, while I'm talking to people, this is probably quite a good project to work on. So this skirt's massive. It's 5,400 and something stitches in this colour, which I love this colour. It's called Sea Foam from Weeks Dye Works. I am using all the called for floss on this, and it's a mixture of Weeks. I think there's a couple of Gentle Art threads as well. Can't remember if there's any Classic Colourworks. This DMC too, so it's a bit of a mix. I'm stitching this on 32 count Belfast, in the colourway Platinum, which I really like this fabric actually, and this is 2/1. No, 2/2. Not 2/1. You're not talking about full coverage now, Elaine. So I put 500 stitches into this while I was away at retreat, and then I frogged out 100 of them. And not only did I frog them out once, I had to do it twice because I made exactly the same error. And then the second time I waited, then I put it to one side. So I thought, I can't be doing with it anymore. I can't see where I've gone wrong. Basically what I did was I miscounted across here by half a stitch, and I couldn't, it was bugging me, and I couldn't, I frogged it all out thinking it was on the row that I'd already done, and it wasn't. It was on the row underneath that, and I thought, oh, I'm not pulling all that out as well, I'm just not. So having restitched it all in exactly the same way and made exactly the same mistake, like I say, I ended up frogging out about 100 stitches altogether. I re-put it back in again and thought, I'm not changing it, I'm going to be out by half a stitch, and actually it doesn't even notice, so I should have just left it as it was anyway. So yeah, so I did get a bit of work done on that one. I'll tell you one thing that was really lovely at retreat as well. So I've never been a morning stitcher. I have a bit of a routine in the morning. You know, I get up early, I take my dogs out, I get my housework done. I like to get my jobs done for the day, if I'm not working, before I sit down and stitch, perhaps in the afternoon between doing the housework or going out and doing what I need to do, and cooking dinner. So while we were away at retreat, you know, just to get up, get showered and dressed, go and have breakfast that's already been cooked for me, and then just to go and sit and stitch was just felt so decadent. Not that I did sit and stitch masses, but yeah, I did a bit in the mornings. So yeah, so 500 stitches got put into that while I was away on retreat. And I do like stitching this one, but yeah, I was a bit annoyed that, you know, how simple could it be, and I managed to muck it up. So there you go. Okay, so what else have I worked on? Let's go with this one next. So the next one that I worked on is this one. So this is Clara Hanson from Hello by Liz Matthews, and I'm stitching this drum. So I counted this as one of my smalls that I've worked on for WIPGO. So I only spent a couple of hours on this one afternoon. Basically, hopefully I'll put a picture in where you saw it last time. But here it is now. So I've been doing a bit of this swan over here, been doing a bit of leaf over here. So this is, and I've still got the thread hanging. How bad am I? So this is stitched on 36 count Picture This Plus in vellum, and I really like this fabric. I can't get it anywhere at the minute. It seems to be out of stock everywhere. This I am stitching using Mrs. Sada's silk in the colourway Darling Blue, and this I am using 2 strands with this one. So this is 2/2, because I just want, it's going to be a drum, and I wanted it to stand a bit more proud of the fabric. So I'm quite pleased with that and how it's turning out. This is my only project I'm stitching in a hoop at the moment. So that's where we are with that one. So that was one of the smalls that I stitched on. And then, right, so this was another piece that I took away on retreat with me. And I was really pleased because Teresa bought a couple of hers finishes of this, and then another lady that came for the day on the Saturday, because we had a few day delegates, she bought the whole lot that she'd finished. So this is mine. This is Summer by the Cricket Collection. I love this, and I did take this with me to work on because Teresa asked me if I'd take it because she hadn't stitched Summer yet, and she said she wanted to see what it looks like. Unfortunately, like I say, another lady came along with her finishes and she'd finished all 4, so it was really good to see somebody else's. So hopefully I've put a picture in where you saw it last time. And I did stitch on this a little while we were away. So there it is now. I've carried on working on this U over here, and I started on the it has bunches of cherries in the middle of the U, so I've started on like the branches, etc. I didn't do masses on this. I worked on this one on the Saturday while we were away, but I'll be honest, I was too distracted with chatting to everybody, so I didn't do masses on it. So this one I'm using all the called for DMCs, and I'm stitching this on 28 count linen. This is in the colourway Rain Stops Play, and it's from Chromatic Alchemy, and this is stitched 2/2. So yeah, I don't obviously on my full coverage I stitched quite a lot on 28 count. I do like the smaller counts better as a general rule, but with these ones, because I want them all to be sort of the same size, that the fabric that I've got for the other ones, and I have got the fabric now for all 4, So I'm going to do them all on 28 count so that they're the same size. So I was particularly interested to see Teresa's spring, because I'd already got the fabric for winter and I've got the fabric for autumn when it comes to doing those two, but I couldn't make my mind up which fabric to get for spring, because spring has got two of the letters in it are in greens. So, you know, my go-to would have been a green fabric, but then I thought, if I use a green, I need to be a bit careful, because I don't want those two letters to look, you know, to just blend into the green fabric. And actually, I'm glad I waited, and I'm glad I saw Teresa's and the lady that also bought her completed spring, because it enabled me to get some different fabric for spring, which I'll show you as part of my haul. Okay, so then the next one that I worked on was this one. So this is the last project I took away to retreat with me. So I only took 3 things, and I did stitch on all 3 of them. So the next one that I stitched on was this one. So this is one of the snail houses from Our Forest Embroidery. This one's called Lilies of the Valley. So having neglected this one for months, I took it with me because I kind of got a bit into it, really. So I did stitch a bit on this one too. So here's where it is at now. So this is the kit. So it comes with the needle minder, and this is a 32 count linen. Don't know what the colourway is, and yeah, and the house is all in Our Forest. The whole thing's in Our Forest floss, which their flosses are lovely, really variegated. So I'm really pleased with the way this is coming along, and I've started stitching the snail itself now. So yeah, that was quite a nice little project to stitch on, and that obviously was one of the smalls that I worked on as part of my WIPGO goals. So that had, I think I took that out on the Saturday evening, and also I stitched on that on the Sunday morning as well. And then we had like Sunday lunch, and I left at about 2 o'clock, I think, in the afternoon. So yeah, so overall, they're the 3 things I stitched on for that weekend. Oh, and I'll tell you, I saw one of the ladies that came. She was working on Our Forest Embroidery's Enchanted Forest, and I've got that kit, and hers just looked amazing, and it's really made me want to get mine out and start it. Like, there's a little fox on it, and it looks gorgeous in like the Our Forest colours, really amazing. So yeah, I took one look at hers and thought, oh. And the other thing that she was working on was the Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along from last year. I think, is it called Fruits of Plenty or something? Anyway, I haven't got any Modern Folk Embroidery charts, but I definitely feel the need to get one because hers looked awesome. So we had a few people there whose names you would recognise, and it was nice to actually meet them in person. So we had a few Flosstubers there. Obviously Teresa, because she organised it with me, but we also had Crafting Kirsty. She came for the day on the Saturday, so it was lovely to meet Kirsty and see what she bought. Some finishes, and she also bought something that she was stitching on. I think it was a Huntsman project, which was really nice. So I had a good chat with Kirsty. And then Bernie from Hooking and Stitching came, and for the day as well, and she bought My Darling Haid that she's working on, which she's going to get finished this year. So it's brilliant to see that. She also bought her unicorn full coverage that she's doing for her daughter as well. So that was really nice to see. And she's stitching on Winter Rose Manor, and so is Stitchy Sally. And when I saw Bernie's, I thought, I may just have to get that chart sooner rather than later. Seriously, I need about 10 arms to stitch all the things. So yeah, so Bernie came, and then we also had Zoe there from Coco Creates. So and Zoe was showing me how she stitches with 2 needles, 2 hands, which is just fascinating to see. Really, it is. So if you've never seen Zoe do that, she does it on one of her Flosstubes. So yeah, check out Coco Creates if you want to see a bit of 2-handed stitching like I've never seen before. So yeah, so it was good to meet Zoe as well. I'm trying to think who else we had that has a Flosstube. Gemma from Gem Stitch was there, but I don't think she's made a Flosstube for a while. I'm trying to think if I've missed anybody out. I do apologise. But yeah, it honestly, it was just brilliant. We had a real blast, not just with the Flosstube ladies, but all of the ladies. Yeah, it was really good. We had a couple of shops there, so Hawkins Hobbies came, and so did Kate from Sparklies. Yeah, and she does fabric, as most of you know, so you will be seeing some of that as part of my haul. Okay, so like I say, I'll put like a video in at the end of people's finishes and things. So I haven't finished with my stitching yet, so I did work on a couple of other smalls as well. So this is by Scattered Seed Samplers, and it's called Shelter from the Storm, and I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And this is what it looks like. Sorry if it's a bit glary. This is what it looks like when it's finished. And I like this little stitch, but a bit of frogging had to happen on this as well. I've had a bit of frog visiting over the last week, what with Mary, and then this one as well. So here's where I am with it now. And I did a bit more of the top of this toadstool, and I've started one of the rabbits. And I started the rabbit, and where I'd been bringing, I'd actually finished this, the stalk of the toadstool, and I mucked it up, so I had to frog it out. So yeah, so the frog paid me a little visit, which was most annoying. So this one I am stitching 1/2 on 36 count brown paper from XG Designs. Well, I say it's 1/2, but it's got a bit of 2/2 as well, because I'd been stitching something else and I swapped to this project and carried on stitching 2/2. So this one has a bit of a textured effect in the toadstool, which I quite like actually. I've gone back to stitching 1/2 on it now, which I do prefer on 36 count as a rule. So that's where that one is at in the minute. So we're starting to see a little bunny materialise, and I was going to finish this one eventually as a pillow, but I don't think I am. I think I'm going to frame it. I think I'd quite like to see it up on this wall with these couple that I've got up here. So that was what I've done with that one, and I am using all the called for floss with that one. So the majority of which are Classic Colourworks and Weeks Dye Works. And then and then I had a new start, and I'm blaming Darren, Dizzy Stitcher, for this one. So this Saturday, this Saturday just gone, Darren had a Zoom meeting, and I was able to attend it because it was on a Saturday. He usually does them on a Sunday, and it's very difficult for me to be on. I can't be on one on a Sunday because my husband and I always take the dogs out somewhere, or, you know, somewhere a bit different on a Sunday morning. So I can't go on a Zoom meeting then. But he did one on a Saturday this time, and so it was really good to go on there and chat to the guys on there. So it was good to catch up with Darren and Desiree from the Addicted Stitcher was on there. So it was good to see Desiree again. And James the PH Stitcher was on there. It's good to catch up with James. Plus a few other people as well. So it was really good chat for a couple of hours. But I thought, what can I stitch on while I'm on a Zoom call? So I've been missing doing a Mill Hill kit, because last year whenever I went on Zoom I was doing a Mill Hill kit, which I finished and is now in my kitchen. So I thought I need to start another one. So this was a bit of haul and a new start. So I got this one I got it as part of an order I had from 123 Stitch. So this is a buttons and beads kit. It's called Honeybee and it's from their spring collection, and I really like it. I was going to start. I've got some little Mill Hill Christmas ornaments, and I was going to start doing those, but I'm not really in the mood for stitching Christmas at the moment. So I thought this one's really springy and summery, so I'd start this one. So I only started it on Saturday, and I only worked on it while I was chatting to Darren and the guys on the call. I'll put that at the back of it so you can see what I've done. So I've started one of the bee's wings and a little bit of the bee's body. So yeah, so I counted that as part of my stitching on smalls. I've got another Zoom meeting coming up this coming Saturday, so that will probably come out again then, but this time it's with the Essex Needles retreat group. So we have got a Facebook group which last year was only open to people that were coming on the retreat. We have opened the group up this year, so if you want to join it, whether you want to come on the retreat or not, you're very welcome to. I do quite regular Zoom meetups, so usually one a month, and I vary them a bit as to when we do them so that people have the opportunity to come on them. So like I say, I've got one this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. But yeah, if, you know, by all means, if you want to join the Facebook group, please do. We have already set the date for next year's retreat. So next year we're going to do it from the 24th of March until the 26th, and again it will be the Novotel Stansted Airport that we do it at. One lovely thing about doing it at the airport as well this year was that we had some people that were able to come from Europe. So oh, one of the other Flosstubers I forgot to mention, I'm so sorry, Ema. So we had Ema, who has her own Flosstube channel, Ema the Irish Stitcher. She came and joined us from Dublin. We had a lovely lady called Michaela who came from Munich, and we had a lovely lady called Susanna who joined us from the Netherlands. So yeah, so it was really good to have a bit of a international flavour. We also had Tea Time Fix, again another Flosstuber. God, I'm terrible, aren't I? So that's Isabel. Isabel has a French Flosstube. She lives in London, but she's French. And we had Anna, who's a lovely Italian lady who also lives in London at the moment. So yeah, so we had a real international flavour as well. Okay, so I think I've got, oh yeah, one more bit of stitching to show you. So yeah, if you want to join the Facebook group, by all means do. Like I say, we have fixed the day and the price for next year's retreat. I think we are limiting the numbers because we found that this year we probably were about right. We don't want it to get too big, basically, you know, because like I say, everybody really mingled together. So the people who you sat with at a table, you didn't necessarily go and have lunch with or dinner with. You know, I had a chat with everybody over the whole weekend. And everybody mingled with everybody else. So I think if we got too big, we'd lose that element of it. So I think we probably won't have any day delegates this year. The guys that came for the day last year want to come for the whole weekend this year, so that's really good. You know, they clearly enjoyed their day and want to extend that, which is great news. So I think we're going to have enough people this year not to really have any day delegates. So yeah, so that is open. We will have, I think it is pretty much full already, but we are taking a wait list as well. So, you know, if you want to go on the wait list, if anybody drops out, then you can. Right, okay, so one more project. So this one was a bit of a surprise one, and I only took this one out yesterday, and I didn't do much on it. But I just really felt the urge to stitch on this, and I haven't stitched on it since last year. So this is Blackbird Designs, and loads of you will have seen this because lots of people stitched it last year. So this is Strawberry Fields Forever. And I just had the urge to stitch. This was screaming to me. I had to get it out yesterday afternoon. So I will put a picture in where you saw it last time. And all I did on it, I've just done a bit down here, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the only reason I only did that bit was because I wanted to watch the rest of that series that I started watching on Saturday night. But this is stitched on 32 count Confederate grey from Weeks Dye Works, which is the called for, and I am using all the called for floss, which are mostly Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, with the exception of one, which is at the time when I started this, I couldn't get Garden Gate anywhere. I have got it now, but I couldn't get it, so I subbed it for a Mrs. Sadas silk that I had got. So yeah, so this one is stitched 2/2. So I just got this out, and I just wanted to stitch Blackbird. I just really did. That's what I had the urge to do, so out it came. So hopefully I'll get a bit more progress on that one this year. Okay, so that I think is everything that I've worked on. So quite a bit of stitching, but not too much full coverage because I just didn't have the time for that. So I am going to have finished WIPGO for March, and like I said earlier, the WIPGO numbers for April have now been called. So the numbers for April are 7 and 10. And for me, I think 7 is to stitch 3,000 stitches on a full coverage project. I don't know which one that's going to be yet. I haven't made up my mind. I have done it twice this year already, that particular challenge. I did 3,000 stitches on my Alice piece, and then I did 3,000 stitches on Cheese Delivery. And I'm really tempted to make it Cheese Delivery again. I really am. Well, it was toss up between, do I do 3,000 stitches on Cheese Delivery again, or do I do 3,000 on Feast? But the problem with Feast, because it's I'm doing it full cross, which takes longer than tent stitch, and B, it's so confetti heavy, it'll probably be the only full coverage I worked on for the month. So it may not be that one. I don't know what one it's going to be yet. And whenever I make any plans and tell you what I'm going to work on, they always end up changing anyway. And then the other number called was 7, which for me is to work, is funny enough, to work on a back again for 5 days. So this last month was my Mirabilia that had 5 days on it. Next time is probably going to be my long dog, because of working on that mirror, I haven't had my long dog out now for a little while, and I really do want to crack on with that one. So I said last time it was going to be my long dog, and it wasn't. It was my mirror. So watch this space. It'll probably be something completely different, of course. Okay, so let's do some haul, shall we? So first of all, I just wanted to show you this because this was made and given to me. Well, I chose this one actually. So one of my lovely viewers, Angela, came on our retreat, and it was so lovely to meet her in person because I've communicated quite a bit with her and she comes on our Zooms, so it was really lovely to actually meet her. And Angela had very kindly made everybody an alt catcher. So I hadn't got one of these. I just stick all my alts in a big jar basically. So, and this was just ideal because I had nothing at retreat to put my alts in. So when she said, oh, have one of these, she'd hand stitched all of these, which it was just amazing. So she'd made like 40 of them, and she'd also made stitched the front of what she wants to turn into a cushion, which says Essex Needles Retreat, and she'd got the backing fabric for it, which she got everybody at the retreat to sign, which I thought wasn't that lovely? So thank you, Angela. You know, it was fabulous to sit and chat to you at the weekend. So anyway, so here's my little alt catcher that she made. So she put the 2022 on it, and then it's got little beads on the front that say ENR for Essex Needles Retreat. And like I say, she hand stitched all of these and then let people, you know, help themselves to them, which it's got a little button on it as well. So I'm so, you know, I'm just so chuffed, really. It was such a really lovely thing to do. So thank you, Angela. Right. Okay, we're 50 minutes in and I haven't even got to the haul. So this is going to be a long one, guys. Okay. No, mind you, all of mine seem to be long just lately. So I'm going to start off showing you charts, I think. Charts. So I didn't purchase any charts at retreat. I was quite restrained, I felt, well, on the chart front anyway. I did get one in the raffle though. So we had a raffle at Tombola. People were really generous with what they put into the raffle. And I won this, which is from Plum Street Samplers, and it's called the Garden House. And it's got the fabric with it and the finishing stuff with it. It's the whole kit basically. So I'm really pleased with this one. So I got that from the raffle. Like I say, everybody was so generous. We raised money. We raised over £300 for Macmillan Cancer. So yeah, really generous people. And then I got, right, so none of these are from, like I say, the retreat. So I bought this one, which I know is doing the rounds at the minute. And I think part of the reason I wanted to stitch on a blackbird again was because I've gone a bit mad on blackbird. So I bought this Humming of the Bees. I got this one from Jeff P. Smith on eBay. So yeah, and I know they've still got it available on there, but it's just, I just loved it. It's just a gorgeous chart. And then I bought, because that chart obviously couldn't travel alone, I got another one from Jeff P. Smith, which this is an old chart, but I really liked it because it's got a chicken on it. So this is Rooster by La Di Da. So don't know when I'm going to stitch that one, but it just caught my eye, so I got it. And then I got my Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods next chart, which was the Jackrabbit, and I've seen a few people stitching this one up. It's just got the most amazing ears. I'm not in a hurry to stitch these at the moment. And then, oh, one of the things I did get at retreat, so one of the ladies that was there, the lovely Jane, one of her finished pieces that she bought was this one. I don't know if you can see that properly. Hopefully you'll be able to see it on the little video I put in at the end. But I saw it and I said, oh, that's amazing, I love it. And the next thing, she gave me the chart. So that was really sweet of you, Jane. Thank you so much. So I'm going to stitch that at some point, and I do like it as a bell pull as well. And then I had 3 patterns from 123 Stitch. So at the time I couldn't find these anywhere in the UK, and I can still only find one of them. So I bought this one, which was Scattered Seed Samplers Spring Delivery. I just think it's so cute. I might start one of these ones after I finish Shelter from the Storm. And I also bought Scattered Seed Samplers Spring Gathering. This is the one I couldn't find anywhere in the UK. The other one, I think Peaks, was it Peakside that had it? No, it might have been Jeff P. Smith had it actually. But this one came from 123 Stitch. And I also bought, the same as just about everybody, A Heart Remembers from Blackbird. And I got this from 123 Stitch because it was just out of stock everywhere. And I'd gone on 123 Stitch, not particularly to buy charts. I went to get a piece of fabric, a specific piece of fabric for a chart, a sampler that I wanted to start. I have got another order coming from 123 Stitch, thanks to the retreat ladies. So it's not arrived yet, but I have ordered a couple of GGR samplers because I saw one of the ladies that was sitting next to me, Pen, her name is, she showed me this chart and I was like, and both myself and Crafting Kirsty were like, oh my God, I want to stitch that. So, and because, you know, and then Kirsty showed me another GGR on there that is a massive sampler. So I was hoping they'd come for me to show you this time, but I'll have to show you those on my next video. But yeah, so Kirsty and I are going to do a start along, I think, with one of those samplers. So I'll show you them next time, but I'm really pleased with this, and there's lots of gorgeousness in here. I'm not going to go through it because I know Stitchy Sally's done a flip through of this if you want to check it out. Right, fabric. So I'm not going to go through all these individually, but as well as fabric to stitch on, Sparklies, Kate at Sparklies also sells quilting fabric as well. And I bought a few pieces to use as backing fabric for finishes. So I bought all of these. That one, I hope you can see that one okay. It's like a greeny sort of colour. A dark grey. And that one is like a very pale grey. So I bought those to, you know, add to my stash of finishing fabrics. And then I bought some, excuse me for leaning right over here, apologies. And then I bought some fabric, both from some of these are Sparklies and some of them are from 123 Stitch. So the first one I'm going to show you is from 123 Stitch, and it's a big piece of fabric. So this is, this is the first time I've bought this particular fabric. This is 37 count corn tassel from Legacy Linen. As you can see, it's huge. And I have bought this particular fabric to put, I showed you the sampler chart last time. This is going to be for Charlotte Frost, 1846, which is by the Scarlet House. Carol the Saltbox Stitcher has been stitching it, but this is the called for fabric for that. So, and I could only get it at the time at 123 Stitch. So yeah, so that's Corn Tassel from Legacy Linen. And it feels quite nice actually. It's quite a nice linen, I like that. It reminds me a bit of XG Designs linen actually. Right, then I bought, I'll show you the 1, 2, 3 stitch ones first. Because, you know, I buy all the Picture This Plus when it's in stock. These came from 1, 2, 3 stitch. So this is 36 count relic from Picture This Plus. I haven't, that, or did it come from, yeah, it did come from 1, 2, 3 stitch. And I got 36 count Bramble. I've already got some of this, but I bought some more of it because I like it. So that too was from Picture This Plus. It's quite similar to Vellum actually. I think Vellum's maybe slightly, yeah, slightly more brown. This one's slightly more greeny grey. Right, so that was all the fabric I've bought from 1, 2, 3 stitch. Now this is what I bought from Sparklies. So the first one, and I thought these are good fabric for fancy ladies. I may put Raven Queen on this, I don't know yet. This is a 28 count even weave, and it's called Maelstrom, which is like a, it's really blue. It's blowing out a bit grey actually on here, but it is blue. And it's obviously an opalescent. It's got lots of sparkles in it. And it's quite a big piece. So I bought that one. Like I say, possibly to put Raven Queen on. Possibly. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know, but I liked it, so I bought it. And then the next piece I bought, which I thought would also perhaps suit, maybe suit a Bella Filipina that I've got, as it happens, is this piece of fabric, and I really like this. Again, this is an opalescent. You can't really see the, oh yeah, maybe you can see the sparkle. It's such a pretty colour. So this is lots of blues and lilacs, and it's called Fairy Tale. And again, this is a 28 count opal even weave. So yeah, I thought that would fit a fancy lady quite well, and I do have one in mind for it. I haven't got the chart for it yet. It's a Bella Filipina and it's called Lunar Mermaid. I thought potentially that might look quite nice on that. Right, now I mentioned earlier that I was looking for a fabric to put Spring from the Cricket collection on, because I've got a fabric for all the others except that one. So this is a 28 count opal linen, and it's called Dr. Smith's Tonic, and it's a real, it's an opalescent again, as they all are for my Cricket collection ones. Now this is a really neutrally colour, and this I think will be perfect for spring, because I think I haven't then got to worry about that green in the lettering, because it will stand out on this. So yeah, and actually the little flecks of opalescent in this, you can't tell really, they are green, so it will go definitely. So that's my choice of fabric for spring. So I've now got all the fabric for all of those Cricket collection pieces. Just need to get summer finished so I can crack on to the next one. And I think I'm going to stitch autumn next out of those, because both Teresa and Diane, the other lady who'd completed them all, both said that stitching autumn was their favourite one. And then I bought 2 pieces of fabric from Sparklies that are not opalescent. So this is 35 count linen. I love this. It's called Harvest Blush, and I think an autumn piece would look lovely on that. So it's like pinks and sort of a creamy orange It's really nice. And I have no plans for anything for it specifically, but I just really liked it. And then the final piece that I bought is a neutral fabric. This is a 32 count linen, and it's called Parchment, and it's this colour. It's got bits of light green in it, but again, lovely piece of fabric. So I was very pleased with my fabric haul. So yeah, so that was that really. Okay, I think I've shown you everything. So we've done WIPs, we've done WIPGO. I've talked about next time's WIPGO. I've shown you all my haul. So I've just got a very quick book review for you, because I have finished a book since I last saw you. Oh, I've got one more thing that I wanted to show you, so because I've never seen these before. So one of the ladies that came to the retreat, Janet, gave me a thank you card, and it's this one, and I'm going to keep it because I loved the picture so much. And it's a Mirabilia card, and I didn't know that Mirabilia made cards, so I need to look out for these. It's actually a picture of, there's the back of it, of Enchanted Dreamer. But yeah, I hadn't seen it before, so I'm going to have to look out for getting some of those Mirabilia cards. Okay, so very quick book review, then I'll put my little video on of the retreat finishes that I took, and that will be me wrapped up for today. And again, it's a long video, but you're used to those from me now, aren't you? Okay, so I told you last time about a book by Adele Parks called Both of You, which is about a lady bigamist. So I really enjoyed reading that. And then since then, I've read a book by Sophie Hannah called Haven't They Grown? And it was quite good. I quite enjoyed reading it. I've got another couple of her books to try. So I did quite enjoy it. It was a bit different. So basically, it's the story of this lady used to be friends with this other woman, and basically they'd fallen out, and she turns up at this woman's house, or she parks up outside this woman's house out of curiosity really, to see what she's doing now. And her old friend basically gets out of the car, and they haven't seen each other for about 11 or 12 years. And this woman, she'd got three children. Anyway, this lady gets the kids out of the car, and the other woman's expecting like 2 teenagers to get out of the car, and they weren't. They were kids. Like one was about 3 years old, and one's 5, and she's kind of like, hang on a minute, and there's only 2 of them, whereas this lady had had 3 kids. So the story goes on from there really, as to kind of, well, you know, how come she's got these 2 young kids, and they're both called the same names as the 2 teenagers. So that's that book. So I wouldn't give it 5 stars, but I'd definitely give it probably a good 3.5, I'd say. So it's worth a read. And then the one I'm reading at the moment, and I'm only about 55% of the way through this one, and I am hooked, really, really hooked. It's called The Appeal by Janice Hallett. And one of the ladies that came to retreat recommended this book to me. And basically it's a bit different in that the book is written as emails, and you're almost reading it as if you are a detective, kind of trying to solve a case based on just these emails. It's a bit different, and it's gripping. I mean, it has proper gripped me. And I'm kind of, I read it until quite way after my bedtime last night. And I couldn't wait to read it tonight when I go to bed. So yeah, Janice Hallett, The Appeal. I can't recommend it enough. And as soon as I finish this one, I'm going to read her other one, which is called The Twyford Code. And again, I think that's written in a slightly different way as well. So yeah, this one, like I say, it's written as all emails. So really interesting book. So yeah, so they're what I've been reading. Okay, that's it for me for today, people. Thank you for dropping in and spending some time with me. I'm sorry if it's been a long one again, and by the time I put the video on at the end as well, we're probably talking about nearly an hour and a half. So I will see you again in just over 2 weeks, I think. I think what I might do is, depending on what day of the week it falls, I'll try and film exactly on my year-long anniversary of Flosstube. So yes, so thank you for coming and spending some time with me. Thanks for listening to me waffling on about the retreat. Hopefully you can tell I had a really good time, and I can't wait to go again next year. It's a pity it's a year away, but I couldn't do one in sort of September or October time because I'm going to America, which I'm also very excited about because I haven't been to the States now for a good couple of years. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, so if you want to join our Facebook group, please feel free to do so. Essex Needles Retreat is what it is called. All you need to do is agree to the rules. If you don't agree to those, then I will have to decline your application. Okay, so have a good stitchy week, people. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for now. Good morning, everybody. It's quite early in the morning on Saturday and everybody's still in bed. So I thought I'd take this opportunity just to do a quick film of our retreat so far. So we had a brilliant day yesterday and Friday. All the ladies that have come are absolutely lovely. But I thought you might like to see some of the guys' work. Look at that owl. That really pops, doesn't it? The lady that did this told me this was her lockdown project. I just think it's awesome. And then we started off with a finishing table with just 2 tables, and it's just expanded and expanded. People have really bought loads of stuff with them. Isn't that beautiful? Sorry if that's a bit glary off the glass, but can't help that one. And look at this, look, this is just showing you the difference in stitching between how you could do the same face but in different stitches in different ways. So the middle one's obviously 2 over 2, the other 2 are 1 over 1. Isn't that clever? And just to flip through and show you some of the others. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's some gorgeous black work here as well. Just looks amazing. If I had the time, I'd go through all of them with you, but I just wanted to do this before anybody else turns up. There we go, look at that, isn't that sweet? And here, look at her, isn't she gorgeous? Look at that fantastic stitching, gorgeous fabric, really, really makes her pop. And here we have a Bella Filipina. Sorry about the glary glass, that's my fault. Again, isn't she on gorgeous fabric? Here we have a full coverage piece. And I have to show you this one because this one will make you smile, people. Remember from my WIP parade, my nemesis, the wolf? Well, one of our lovely ladies has actually completed it. I don't think mine will ever look like that because mine's relegated to the back of one of my crafting cupboards at the moment. But yeah, Dimensions Gold Petite Wolf, it looks amazing when it's actually, when you actually see it live. Well, all these look amazing live. There's a little, lovely little bunny picture there. And here we go with a Lovely map of Tintagel, I do believe. And then there's a couple of mine there. My offering is a bit small and paltry compared to other people's. Teresa's high heels. I'm sure anybody who watches Teresa has seen that one. And there we have a Haid. I do believe that's a story keep. Isn't that great? And look at this, isn't it pretty? There's my Tudor bean. There's Teresa's autumn there, look. Looks great. One of Teresa's Haids. I think that's Faces of Fairy. One of Teresa's. Barbara Anna piece there. Cricket Collection Spring at the back there, that's Teresa's. Here we have a little mini Haid here. I'm sorry I don't know the names of all these patterns, I wish I did. I do like that, I think it's really amusing. Lovely sampler there. Honestly, I could just gaze at these all day. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? What a lovely bit of stitching. And over here we have some tigers. There you go, Darren, if you're watching this, just for you. Beautiful butterfly. Another little full coverage there. And under here, look at that dragon. Fabulous. I have never stitched on black, and I don't know if I ever will, because having looked at some of the black fabric, gorgeous lady there. Having looked at the black fabric, I'm not sure my eyes would be able to cope with it. And look at this chatelaine in black. Isn't that fabulous? Look at that. And I think you can just see some of the treasures and beads glinting off of it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I have to say, and I'm sure those of you that have been on retreat would agree with me, going on one of these is just too enabling. I just want to stitch all the things now. Here we have some little gonks, look. Isn't that super? Sorry if I'm in the shadows a little bit now, but I can't help it. This is a bit of a make-do video. I'm doing the best I can here, guys. We go with some more black work. And I hope I'm not making you feel too sick, because I haven't got a selfie stick, so it's probably a little bit of a wobbly video. Here we go over here with this one. And a little biscornu. A nice Christmas pattern there. And I know this pattern, but I've never seen it stitched up, and doesn't it look great? And this one, look at all those sheep. Sally, if you're watching this, look at the sheep, aren't they great? There's What Remains, all stitched up. Now I've seen it for real, I can understand why everybody really loves this particular chart. And I love this. I am definitely going to have to get this All Creatures Great and Small one by Barbara Anna, because when I've seen it stitched up with all the animals, it just looks great. And again, of course, it's got some sheep, but on this one I really like that cow as well, with the little milkmaid and her churns. Prairie Schooler down here, and I really love the way this one's been finished as well. I've got this chart actually, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this was last year's Prairie Santa. Look at that. There's Teresa's Autumn Promise there. Teresa's Andromeda. Look at this here. Beautiful alphabet with all the speciality stitches. Aren't they gorgeous? I'll just show you some of the ones that are underneath. A bit more black work there. A bit of hardanger. So there you go. So we'll just have a little wander around the room while there's no one's in here, and I'll show you some of what people are working on. I'm not, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do think is that Queen of the Seas or Under the Sea or something, I think it's called. Somebody working on a bothy threads there. A gorgeous black work piece going on over here. Look at the little froggy needle minder, how cute is that? And then round the corner here we've got Teresa's working on her winter still. I think she's cracking on, we're nearly finishing that now. And then round here we've got the gorgeous quilting bee. Isn't that gorgeous blue flower? I think I may have to get that chart because I really like it. Oh, I can't show you that one because the chart's out. And then over this way we've got a cutesy little pattern over here. How cute is that? Here's my snail house over here that I've got out for this morning. And yesterday I was working on my Mary needle worker, and I put in nearly 500 stitches and then frogged out 100 of them. A long dog going on over here. Beautiful colours on that, gorgeous. That's this lady's using this hank of silks for you. Isn't it lovely? Bit of chocolates going on over here, people. Very familiar pattern here, of course, Modern Folk Embroideries. Last year's stitch along. Isn't that lovely? And here we go, just round the corner here. Looks like a mirror. I could be wrong, being stitched with a different colour skin tone, which looks really good. And over here, oh, look at this one. Lovely. I can't show you, somebody's stitching the Ukrainian one with the sunflowers and the wording that says about putting the sunflower seeds in your pocket, but I can't show it to you because she's got the chart out. So yeah guys, that was just a little clip of some of the things that we've been getting up to over here. I can't show you the rest at the moment because people have got patterns out and obviously I can't show you that. So I hope you enjoyed my little video, and just one last little, here's our D-stash table going on over here, look. And we've got a bit of a tombola going on over there that we're going to do today. So yeah, I'll try and take some more pictures or a bit of a video later on if I get the chance, but that's all for now. Bye.